It's fascinating to me to study history and to study the scriptures, especially the ancient scriptures like the Old and the New Testament and even the Book of Mormon in that context of what he now says next. Verse 2, he says, "Hearken to my voice, lest death shall overtake you in an hour when you think not. The summer shall be past, the harvest ended, and your souls not saved." Brothers and sisters, there are so many causes that you can take up, that you can devote your whole life, your time, your energy, your talent, your attention to, and you can put your whole soul into those efforts. And some of them are better than others, but at the end of the day, most of these earthly movements and earthly causes and earthly efforts don't have the power to save us. They don't have the power to bring us peace when we need it the most. They can be really, really worthy causes. But at the end of the day, if we will keep a laser focus on things that matter most and put them in their proper place, it's President Benson who said, if you put God first, put God at the center of your life, then he will help you order those other responsibilities and causes and efforts that you have and put them into their proper place. And he said some of those things will fall out of your life altogether. They're just not worth your time. So here's this plea in verse 2 to listen to him. Hearken to me, lest you get to the end of a long life pursuing what you were really, really filled with excitement and you thought it was the end all be all, only to get to the end to realize, oh, this isn't what the purpose of my life really was supposed to be. You know, to sum this up as we now transition into verse 3 and beyond, it's like this. You have an altar symbolically, and we come and we make sacrifices. We place things on the altar. When you sacrifice something, the thought is, okay, I'm going to get something in return. Something's going to be given to me for having made that sacrifice. Brothers and sisters, the world is offering you lots of altars on which to make sacrifices, on which to devote your life, your energy, and your effort. But they can't always guarantee what you get in return. It's only the Lord Jesus Christ who can with absolute certainty, guarantee an amazing return on our mortal sacrifice investment that we make. And by the way, sometimes Elder Maxwell was the one who said, sometimes we make offerings to the Lord and then we hang around waiting for a receipt. Can I just say, what an amazing thing that Christ gives us his gospel and he's restored his church and he allows us to make sacrifices on that altar, and we don't need to stand around waiting for a receipt. He is a giver of all of the very best gifts, and those gifts have eternal and infinite implications for us, not just in this life, but into the eternities. And so I think this is an important thing for us to point out as we launch into this section, is that sometimes as we study church history and as we go through the Doctrine and Covenants, let's just be honest, it's easy to focus on the struggles, the trials, the opposition, the storms, the awfulness and the mobs and the difficulties that these people are facing. And they are. We're not taking anything away from that. Those things are absolutely in play here. But perhaps we could focus a little bit more or spend a little bit more time talking about, yes, bad things are happening to these people, but wow, God is being good. And sometimes we overlook the goodness of God in our own daily lives because we're focused so much on the opposition and the troubles and the setbacks and the failures and the sins and the temptations and the things that are pulling us down. if we spend too much time focusing on those instead of turning upward and focusing on Him, life can get pretty discouraging pretty quickly.